Good morning, guys. Excuse me. It is Lisa from Lisa&Norm, 26 years. It is Friday morning, thank goodness. It is almost 60 degrees outside in February in Maryland. So instead of getting dumped on with snow, it is raining. And I gotta tell you, it has rained so much this month. It's crazy. Like, I feel like if this had been snow, if this had been like winter weather like we normally get in February, we would have gotten like blizzards of snow, which we've had in the past and been off school for like 10 days, which was wonderful. But no, it's just rain. And like I said, yesterday it got up to almost 70 degrees. At one point, and not for very long, but at one point I turned the heat off in the house and opened all the windows just to kind of air out the house. I do have 2 big dogs, so sometimes you gotta air out the house. Air out the house and get some fresh air in. It was light, it was beautiful, it felt like spring, and I was just in a fabulous mood. And then this morning I wake up to this gloom and yuckiness. So I wanted to jump on here for a couple of seconds because I'm feeling really, really frustrated. Yes, I weigh every day. Yes, I know that that's not what we're supposed to do, or people say don't do it, but I do, and I just use it for data so that I know where I am. So yesterday, after I had taken all the teas and done all the things that finally made my body move, I was 174, which is the lowest I've ever been since I started this. This morning, I got on the scale and I was 176. So again, it's the same 2 pounds all through January, all through February, that I just keep losing and gaining, losing and gaining. And this is January and February, and I am so frustrated. So I took a really hard look last night at everything I'm doing. So a couple of things. Number one, this week, not yet, but on its way, is my friend that, you know, my lady friend. And I don't know why we call her a friend, because no one likes her. But anyway, so, you know, usually, traditionally in my life, I lose weight during this week. It's a false lose, but I do lose during this week, and even right before. So that bothers me that I didn't lose anything. But I'm also, you know, I'm 43 years old, and I've noticed some changes in the cycle, and you know, I can't really rely on that, so I'm not really worried about that too much, because I can't change it. There's nothing I can do about that. Also, freestyle. Look, I'm not blaming freestyle, but my own personal experience with freestyle has been, I was losing steadily 1 pound a week, about sometimes 2, until freestyle. Literally at freestyle, it was like a halt. It was like no more, okay? And I am not saying that it's the program's fault. It's 100% my fault on freestyle. Because when you tell me, you know, chicken and eggs and shrimp are 0 points, I overeat them. I do not have the full trigger that everyone else has. I am either starving or I'm sick. Like, I don't have the fullness. So last night, for example, I made chicken nuggets in the air fryer with shake and bake. Now, I divide them up into 8 portions so that I call it 1 point, because it's 1/8 of the packet of the shake and bake. A lot of it comes off too, so I did, but the problem was, once they were done, I just started popping them in my mouth, and I didn't stop, to the point where I got indigestion, and I don't get indigestion that much. But my body was saying, hey, you don't eat like this anymore. this is what you're doing. So I'm sure this morning I'm up. Shake and bake is salty. My rings don't fit. I mean, they fit, but my rings usually have been falling off of me. Today they're fitting, you know. So I know that it's me. I kept waiting for, and the advice I kept getting was, eventually your body will stop overeating the chicken and the shrimp and the eggs and whatever, and the yogurt, because you just, you know, your body's not gonna, you're doing it now because it's like a treat, like all of a sudden, oh, I can eat all I want, and your body would regulate. Mine's not. It's been 2 months now, or almost 2 months, and it's not regulating. I still will sit with a bowl of chicken nuggets, clearly, and just eat them until I make myself sick. So it's freestyle is almost too much freedom for me. You know, I need the discipline of, you have to count your chicken. And I know there are people who say, well, still, you know, weigh it out and still only eat a portion. It's too late. My head has been told chicken is free, or chicken is 0 points. My head has been told that. So I don't have the discipline to, because, you know, have you ever, when you were dieting before, when you were on diets, you know, and I saw a guy say this one time, he said in the morning he was on no carb, at night he was on low fat, depending on what he wanted. He would tell himself, oh, I can't eat carbs, because he wanted something fattening or with fat in it, and then he would like tell himself, oh, I'm on low fat, just so he could eat bread. So I feel like it's kind of like that. You know, I'll tell myself, you know, you've got to weigh these out, you've got to portion these chickens out, or this, or the eggs, or whatever. But then I talk myself out of that and say, but it's 0 points. I can have whatever I want. I also know yesterday I snacked on some chocolate because I knew I had the points. That's the other thing that I'm doing. Because chicken, even when I'm being diligent about my chicken and my shrimp and my eggs and things like that, and I am portioning them out, because they're 0 points, I'm not filling up my points with better stuff. I'm filling it up with junk and then not losing, because I have 23 points. If I eat chicken and vegetables and they're 0, I say, okay, well, I would have had 5 points normally, or that would have been 3 points normally. So I'll go find a 3 point or a 5 point junk food that I'll eat. So, I think, so my original thought this morning was I was going to not do freestyle anymore, meaning I was going to quit. Like, that's truly where I was this morning. I was like, I'm going to not pay for the app next month, and I'm just going to quit. I think, though, I love Weight Watchers. I really do. And I know that it worked for me. It worked well for me. So I think what I'm actually going to do is next month, maybe even next week, I am going to paper track for a week or so and give myself 30 points and see if that makes a difference. Hold on one second. Morning. Thank you. So I want to see if that makes a difference. The problem is, I know paper tracking and tracking on your app is kind of a pain. But I'm not ready to give up the app. Number one, because I need to know how many points everything is. I really wish Weight Watchers would say, all right, look, here are the programs we have. We've got freestyle, we've got, you know, just smart points, and we've got simply filling. Pick the one you want to do and download that one, you know, or I don't know. I know I'm not the only person feeling this way about freestyle, because not only am I watching YouTube videos where people are struggling with freestyle, but I watch Facebook messages and, you know, people who were saying, I was losing and now I'm not, and that's how I feel. I'm struggling, and I'm not blaming freestyle. I think if you started freestyle and that's where you started, it's probably fabulous. My problem is me. I don't have the discipline that freestyle needs on just plain old smart points. Not that I didn't feel free, because don't get me wrong, I could work a creme brulee into my 30 points, you know, and I was okay with that. But it was once in a while. Now I feel like I'm working a lot more junk into my plan because of the 0 points foods. And I know people say, well, you know, you also got to remember the point or the calories, and you got to remember that food is food, and I get that. The problem is, for me, smart points was so easy and so good to me because it was structure. It was, this is what you're supposed to do. All right, well, I'm at work and I gotta go, and I will show you my food, and I will check back in this afternoon. I just wanted you to know this is where my frustration level is this morning. And I know part of it is hormonal, but part of it is also I'm just frustrated. Here's my breakfast this morning. It is for breakfast, it is the lower in sugar strawberry and cream oatmeal, 1 packet for 4 points. It is the unsweetened applesauce mango peach for 0, and then my water with some Mio in it for 0. Good afternoon, guys. It is now 3:18. I am on my way home. It is February 18th, 16th. It is about 55 degrees outside. It is drizzling. And I just wanted to come back on and kind of talk about my little rant this morning. I still stand by it. I still am feeling very discouraged and very disappointed. I just want to reiterate, I want to say again, I love Weight Watchers. I plan on staying on Weight Watchers. I'm not leaving. I'm not originally this morning I had kind of thought about getting rid of my subscription and walking away. But I know if I do that, I'll just spiral. I'll spiral out of control, and I won't be able to get it back together. I won't be able to rein it in. I just don't have the self-control and the, I don't know what else you want to call it, the willpower to not overeat free food. Like, the reason that it's, and I don't mean free, like, I mean 0 point food. I can even overeat vegetables. Like, put a tray of broccoli and carrots and cauliflower in front of me, even without dip, and I will sit and eat it all day. Like, I have no problem whatsoever overeating that. I overeat fruit. I overeat chicken. I overeat shrimp. Mine is just a fullness thing. I don't have that fullness trigger that other people have. I think I've ruined it over the years. Like I said, I'm either starving, which I feel like I'm starving right now, or I am so full I'm sick. So today I had oatmeal for 4 points, which you'll see, and then I had a cup of applesauce. I had what did I have for lunch? Oh, I had a salad for lunch, which I had some chicken nuggets in it for 2 points with the cheese and the nuggets, which were homemade nuggets in the air fryer with the shake and bake for 1 point. And the dressing I used was less than a teaspoon, and what you see in the video, I didn't even use it. I like dipped 1 time. And then I had some Jell-O with fruit in it and another applesauce. So all together today I've had, oh, and then I had popcorn. I had 4 points of popcorn. So I've had 8, what have I had? I've had 8, 9. I've had 10 points I've used today. So I've got 13 points for dinner. No idea what we're having for dinner. Didn't plan anything. I have got to be really careful today and tomorrow and Sunday, because the old me, the old Lisa today would be off the rails. I'd say, you know what? I'm going to start something new on Monday. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm just going to plummet into dessert. I'm going to try not to do that today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Tomorrow we are going to Ruth's Chris, and I intend to eat my steak. I intend to eat what I always eat when I'm there, and you know, have dessert or have coffee or whatever. It is my intention, and I'm going to do it. And then Sunday we'll be coming back from the beach, and which we're not going to go to the beach because it's, you know, it's still Maryland. It's still, you know, 50 degrees and windy and whatever. And we'll be coming back from down there, and we will get, I'm sure, lunch on the way back or breakfast or something. Starbucks, bare minimum. And then Monday, we're going to be doing meal prepping. So I think on Sunday or on Monday, we're going to have, on Monday, we're going to have hot dogs. But I have to find the 97% fat-free Hebrew Nationals, and then I have to find a bun that is a couple of points, not a whole bunch of points. I'm willing to do like a 5-point hot dog, because before my hot dogs were 10 points for one, and I'd like to have 2 hot dogs. So if I could get like a 5-point hot dog somehow out of here, I think I'd be good with that. And then I'm not sure what we'd have. I think we're gonna have veggie straws with it as a side. But anyway, it's Friday. I should be in a great mood, and I'm just not. You know, I'm really thinking about freestyle and how much. Again, I'm not blaming freestyle at all. I'm blaming me on freestyle. I think my problem was, or is, that Weight Watchers Smart Points worked for me. And it worked for me because every bite I put in my mouth was controlled except for fruits and vegetables. And even some fruits were still then, and vegetables and whatever. So, you know, every bite, every piece of chicken, every shrimp, every. And I had 30 points to get all of that in, you know. So if I had, you know, 8 ounces of chicken, I had to count it, you know. Now I eat 8 or 9 ounces of chicken and be like, oh, it's free, I can eat whatever I want. And I think that's where it's not working for me. And I don't know how to, look, I could say, well, then just track it, or then just, you know, look at your portions. But it's a head game. It's a mind game, and I can't get it to stop. It's a mind game for me because I say, oh, look at your portions. I don't have to look at my portions. Instead, I don't have to track it. I've tried tracking my chicken, you know, my 0-point chicken. But I just keep tracking it. I don't care. 12 ounces of chicken and 0 points, you know. I don't know. I'm really, really struggling. If I can't make it out of February with a loss, and I mean a pound, I would be happy at 173 anything in February, or at the end of February, or by March 1st. If I can't make it out of February with a loss, then March I am going to have to do something, because I have given freestyle my all for 2 months, and I am just going to have to figure something out. Again, I'm not planning on leaving Weight Watchers. I'm just going to have to perhaps double track and track on the tracker and track on paper, because honestly, I don't really care. I mean, I've tried the blue dot thing. You know, here's the thing. I can keep myself in that's the thing. I get blue dots. I'm not going over. I'm not using a whole bunch of weeklies. I mean, this week I kind of have, because I've been discouraged. But I'm not using a bunch of weeklies. I'm rolling over points because I'm eating as much chicken as I want. I love chicken. So it's like Christmas. So I think what I'm going to do is go back to tracking on paper and using 30 points and counting my chicken and my shrimp. I might not count shrimp. I think even before I didn't really count shrimp. But start counting my chicken, start counting my eggs, counting the yogurt. I just have to figure out what all of those things were. I think that chicken was kind of like 1 point per ounce or something like that. I don't remember yogurt. I don't eat a lot of yogurt anymore. I mean, I kind of gave that up. It was good, but I'm kind of over it. The eggs, I think, were 2 points a piece. So I may go back to, you know, egg whites. Not sure. But I think that is my intention. I think my intention is to go back to the smart points and start tracking if I can't make it out of February with a loss, and I may do it anyway. And what I'm intending to do is still also track on my tracker on the computer, on the phone or the website, the way they tell me to do it, just to see really what the difference is. You know, I may do that next week actually. Not really worry about the 30 points, but track it just to see what my points would have been and how far over I'm really going if I was back on smart points, or, you know, not freestyle. So tell me what you guys think. What would you do? You know, I know it's working for you guys. I'm watching it. I'm seeing people say, you know, it's working. I love freestyle. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I'm maintaining. You know, I think during the maintenance phase, freestyle and me are going to be best friends. Because I'm maintaining. I have not gained or lost in a few months. But right now, I should be losing. I should be losing at least a pound. I mean, January 1st, I was 176. It is February 16th, and as of today, I was 176. Now, I've gone down and up 2 pounds, but I don't know. I'm discouraged. And I'm sure you hear it in my voice, and I'm sure you can see it in my face. And like I said, I don't want to quit Weight Watchers. That's not my intention, and that's not what I'm saying. I just, for me personally, I don't think this is enough control over my situation. So help. If you can think of another way, you know, without saying, well, just, you know, suck it up and don't eat so much. I can't. You know, if I could just suck it up and not eat so much and say, you know what, I'm only going to have a portion of chicken, or I'm only going to have a portion of eggs, or whatever it is, then I would have probably not needed Weight Watchers to begin with. Again, I think there's, you know, the other part of this that I'm not touching upon so much is that if I eat chicken and fish and vegetables all day long, right? And I end up with, you know, 5 points, let's say, right? Then I take all those points that are left on my tracker and I say, okay, well, you know, here I am with 15 points. Let's have dessert for 15 points. I'm fine with my 2 or 3 point dessert that I've been making for months. I love it. I don't want to stop. But now all of a sudden, because I see 15, I'm eating things that I might not have fit in there. Like, you know, crackers and cheese and, you know, chocolate pieces and stuff that I wouldn't have normally done. But now I think, well, you know, if I eat a 23 point Starbucks drink, or drink a 23 point Starbucks drink, which I don't do, but you know, if I did, I'll just keep the rest of my day at 0. And okay, once in a while, that's all right, but I'm doing it on a regular basis. So again, it's not Freestyle's fault. I'm not faulting the program. I'm faulting me for not being able to work the program correctly. And I think that had I started on Freestyle, I thought about it this morning, and at first I thought I'd probably be fine, but I don't think so. I think if I would have started on Freestyle and not before Freestyle, I don't think I'd have lost any weight. And then I'm really mad. You know, the third thing is, you know, you learn to manipulate the system once you've been on it long enough. You know, it's kind of like your muscles start to have the muscle memory, and they start to do things like, you got to mix it up or you don't lose weight. You know, it's like when they say have a high fat meal, so your body can like metabolize quicker and stuff like that. You have to mix things up. I start to manipulate the system with the numbers. You know, I start to do things like say, okay, well, a serving of these crackers is 15 and it's 1 point, but I can push it up to 19 and I'll do it for still 1 point. And I know that's not really manipulating, it's how it's supposed to work, but I find myself doing that more and more. And, you know, I read somewhere the other day, if you have a 1/4 cup of the fat-free cheese for 0 points for breakfast, and then a 1/4 cup of the fat-free cheese for 0 points 4 hours later for lunch, it's still 0 points, but you have to listen to your body, and you have to decide, let your weight loss be your guide, you know. And I hear that and I say, huh, well, you know, 1/4 cup of cheese at every meal and I should be 0 points. And, you know, if I could let my body be the guide, if I could let my weight loss be the guide, I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in right now. I don't have that kind of control. So I don't know. I'm frustrated. I am here on a Friday. I'm sitting here on a Friday with 15 or so points for the rest of the day, and all I want to do is have junk, and my friend is coming, and I want to eat crap for the next 2 days, next 3 days, and then say Monday I'll start again. But that's the old me, and I don't want to do that. So I'll keep you guys posted, let you know what I do with the rest of my day.